10, 15 minutes bank.
For what?
Bank.
Necros, what did you say?
You don't pull the droplets.
Yeah, you can pull my.
Also,
have to
You
pull.
can't ignore the droplets on the boss.
Yeah, you can, to be honest, but you can pull them outside with the two Gale Collar, how they say, I don't remember their names. They are the two that they're making a Typhoon spell.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can give them there slowly.
Or have a super duper healer and
No.
Super duper
Even
duper.
Josh Priest can heal that.
yeah, because he doesn't play flurries on this week.
Yeah, whatever.
Wait for
Also-
flurries, no one's
Also, you can skip the big god there after first boss.
Let me check some. That's going to do. Oh,
To be honest, you can skip all the big gods. Trying.
Do you know what my problem is?
What?
The strata is brick.
Okay, wait. Do you want to go?
Don't kill them all at the same time. Or we're
Do
gonna
you
get
want to
6
go a
saves.
shrine after?
You're asking me or the group?
You, because I have a 15 that some idiots.
Trust me in healing 15?
I trust you. Yeah, why not?
Okay then.
How much time do we need to finish?
Could we do this another place? Because the ads are coming out.
Yeah, move downstairs. Come downstairs. Let them come. We'll just funnel them. Just downstairs.
Oh, you were before last boss, yes?
We're at the last boss.
I joined some idiots
Make sure you run past here. Run into the
3
boss.
days before, and I had 16 shrine. And they didn't.
About idiots, I joined Old War 6 on my paladin, and people would DPS down the cannons.
Lol.
So I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Why don't you get in the cannon? And they just continued as they were not bots because they were talking about something.
Move out of the circle.
People are so completely retarded.
Yeah, like totally retarded. And there was a warlock that has like 6.8 k DPS and geared like my rogue.
Okay, I go online to search for what, you know, stats the professionals use for high keys. And they have like 18 mastery. Like almost 2k mastery. And I'm like, what?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm missing like 500 mastery. I
digits.
need that ring
Just
from
drop.
Dana.
3, 2, 1.
From Jaina, you
Yeah.
I'll do the.
don't have the ring
Okay.
from Under.
Just be greedy with it.
No.
Get all of them going in one go. Not one at a time.
I have it in my word.
Είναι beast ρε, για healer, σε druid, στο mythic class είναι beast beast.
Can you shapeshift out of the lens?
Collapse.
Or no?
Interrupt.
I miss a trinket, so I need it. Oh, we have Dreylock here.
Yes, Drelok is coming.
Another plate in the group.
Collapse.
Yeah, so you can give me your plate loot.
Haha!
Yeah.
You know what we are missing in the game? Emily intellect.
AOE incoming.
No.
The paladin?
That would be interesting if
So paladin.
fusion is strength.
Holy is me.
Holy is not DPS.
Yeah, but it's kind of melee.
Yeah, I'm melee too with cat weaving if you say so.
No, but it actually counts as a melee. Same as a monk. They count as melee.
Druids
No.
are melee too.
For mechanics.
The rest of druids are melee too, but we are talking about.
No.
DPS.
Do rest of druids count as melee for mechanics?
No, they can
Wow.
prevent anything.
If
Yeah.
you want to DPS with a druid, you go melee, yeah. You go feral and go melee. Oh!
No,
there's
you
my
misunderstand. For mechanical purposes, or like actual boss mechanics that like, oh, this only goes on range or whatever.
Only
Holy
Paladins
Paladin
join.
and Resto Monk do not count as ranged. They count as melee.
Mistweaver, not Resto Monk.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever.
Also, if you want a melee with intellect, you should also have a ranged with.
Strength.
Well, we have ranged with
You need a
agility.
male tank and a cloth tank. Battle
We have
mage, let's go.
We have hunters which are basically physical range. So why don't we have a magical melee?
Dum dum. Hunters are agility.
But
Yeah,
the physical
but-
damage.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
they're
but-
physical.
What class can we have as a
We have a
intellect,
melee magical demon hunter. It's
No,
weird. It's chaos damage.
Yeah,
But
Not
he's
all,
no
but
mate
yeah.
using
it's
agility.
agility.
They
Yes,
should
but
bring.
demon hunter
They
is an
could,
intellect. Like, come on.
they could add like a spellbreaker.
Yeah, something like that. A battle mate.
Yeah.
Using a magical sword or something, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Oh yeah,
Are
like
you
in
gonna
Dragon
say
Age.
something that's like actually your idea, or are you just gonna keep copying what I say?
Magical sword, you can use that one.
Okay, you added magical sword. Yeah, okay, I'll give you that.
Well, the Rustic classes in other
Magical
games.
swords, almost like rune blades, right?
Whoa!
Debating.
And maybe we can add some mechanic where they can avoid doing enchants and like, you know,
And like rune forge their blades or something.
yeah, add like
That would
special
be
powers that they
nice.
can change
Yeah.
depending on the fight. But then do away with the whole system because it's stupid.
What are we doing?
Have you played Ion?
Satchel is 11, if you're up for it.
So many original ideas here, I see.
Have you ever played Ion?
Yes.
Should we take a rock for
We
this?
could have something like the Chanter on.
No,
Ion.
Hamul is coming.
I played Aeon for like the first month or first 2 months, and then everyone ran away from that game and I quit.
Yeah, because this was shit, man.
That's what happens
Yeah, but
when
you
you're
remember class,
older,
right?
really.
Hamul.
Hamul is AFK, we are waiting for Hamul.
Have you ever played
Alt
RPG?
Fiesta.
What I was
So,
playing?
let's
I was
see.
playing like the big beefy warrior with an axe kind of dude. I don't know what.
The
Oh, the compensator, yes.
The compensator, yeah, that was the class.
Wait,
You have to compensate for a lot.
Yes.
it
I
was
need
it was the gladiator. What the
finger.
fuck?
The compensator, right?
I need this finger.
I know the classes I've played recently. Come on.
Is it actually called the gladiator? I really don't remember.
It is. There are two beefy, tanky, and DPS guys. The gladiator and the Templar.
No, it wasn't a Templar. It was the gladiator. Yeah.
Yeah.
sure.
It used
Obviously.
a great sword and an axe.
Yes.
Oh, that's a great game where Guardian Gnome can play a gladiator.
Oh, I remember
to
now.
play
You had
Hunter.
you had the basic classes, and then later on you had to choose between one of two.
I am back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Thank
Which character are you bringing?
Welcome back,
Uh,
Hamur.
What roster we have? We have.
It's depleted, so
No, it's not that.
just gets an alpha weekly.
It is
Ah.
depleted. Hello.
Actually, I'm gonna.
What is this? Legion?
I'm gonna bring my hunter because I need a weapon from Cetralis.
Weapon? Ah, yeah.
Survival, Phile. The best survival weapon
Survival,
is getting from
Hello.
Cetralis.
Okay, so we are 2 melee, 1 ranged if I play elemental.
Yeah, just avoid Cyclone, please. It's
What
auto shot.
cyclone? What is cyclone?
Okay,
What is
if you
this?
don't see Cyclone, I kill you.
What is cycling?
Turtle, man, turtle.
Cyclone strike.
Turtle the whole fight. Hamur, why are you
So, what do we have? We have Aisha here, Artberg, Best, Boombringer, Burra, Burrito, Helen.
For what, mate?
What? Oh, I'm just looking
Normal,
at.
normal.
I'm making the new copy pastas. So I think
Making a pasta?
I may remove Bob of it because Bob isn't really playing right now.
Baba? What the fuck?
I'll just leave
you're-
Bob on so
You
can
make
see it.
clean the mess on the calendar.
Yeah.
But why he
Okay.
doesn't play with us and he's a I mean he play casuals?
He
He
backs
does
all the
Play
time.
casual.
Yeah, I saw him. He has something experience in.
Keep Hamu. I'll keep not Hamu. Obviously, I'll keep Hamul on, but I'll keep Halo on as well because he said he was gonna be back normally already, but something came in, and he should be back in somewhere in March, like maybe in a week or two or something. So I'll keep him up for now.
Hello was not as
Okay, I
good
have
as
a
Valaria.
question, really
No.
quick.
I'll remove Katarameni though. I'll remove Oastrix. I'll remove.
And Maledictus. Oh wait, Ostrix is
he's
going
gone.
to stop playing?
So yeah,
He left,
He
he
went
left.
out. He went out.
Like
What?
Hannibal did. Yeah.
I have
He
a
and
question.
so I removed he and Hannibal because they fucked up, but actually I fucked up and Hannibal didn't fuck up because the logs were misrepresenting. But Oastrix
Oastrix
did
did
actually
fuck
fuck up. He put it in like the middle of the raid.
Exactly.
And
So he left the
after
guild?
that.
Can
Yep.
I have a question?
Yes, yes,
Go
yes.
on.
I think that you didn't explain him why you replaced him, and that's.
Well, I didn't replace him. I
Anyway,
removed
nobody
him.
wants to
Wait,
listen to that. So let's
Necros,
switch the topic.
Necros. When you're doing progress in the last boss of Heroic, you have to know what to do, mate.
Yeah, of
You
course,
don't
mate,
wait
but
for mothers to tell you what to do on the phase 3.
I didn't
after-
say
Never know
something like that. I didn't
You
say
never
something
know.
like
Yeah,
that.
good.
Can I
Ah.
seriously just
I
ask
said
something?
that he told me
Mhm.
why he removed me, and I was telling him that you maybe did something wrong.
No
And-
shit.
and he told me like what? Yeah, and then I explained him.
Yeah, you
And-
see, that's the problem. Like what? You don't.
Yeah, maybe
Man.
he didn't understand.
Μαλάκες να ρωτήσω κάτι που θέλω τόση ώρα.
That
Ρώτα.
happens a lot in our guild.
I'll let Iria tell what he said.
Υπάρχει 340 weapon να αγοράσω στο Warlock.
Ναι, θες να
Go,
σου στείλω.
wait. Go do a world quest, mate. There is a weapon at this with a world quest on. Wait.
I'm
Also,
working on
about
Warlock.
Ostrix,
My weapon is 295.
Yeah, you're gonna get
You
there.
can
in
find,
careful.
mate, easily.
Just do world quest and take the items. You're gonna
I
get
don't
the
know
A
if I
level
can
from there.
make you one.
Don't worry.
Come,
so another problem with Ostrix is that I never he haven't even green logs. I'm not even saying about blue.
what?
I never seen Ostrix having DPS logs better than gray.
Yeah,
he
you
had
know, all of us
four-
don't have logs because of
4-8 eye level, and he was always great. He was such a bad DPS.
the thing is that we couldn't write logs at some bosses because of other low DPSs or we did mechanics and not Zerg
Wait,
at heroic
wait.
bosses.
Yes, but if you
And
do
we lost a lot
mechanics,
of time.
yes, but if you do that, you're a good player, you get like blue logs. You don't get green logs unless you are dead for entire fight. But you
Like-
don't get gray on all bosses.
For example, at the mythic first boss, the first time we killed it, I was at grey logs.
I'm not
And-
talking about first time. He is gray on heroic.
Yeah, whatever. Okay.
After
So
two
there's a
clears.
couple of things here, right? So I removed him and Hannibal pretty rushedly, even though I did say this is why, because I was getting frustrated because I felt that
I-
we failed that pull because there were mixed signals to what needed to happen, and that like super annoyed me. But then it was also because like, look, they're staying in, and that's why Iria then was like, oh, you should go out. But like, again, it's such a basic mechanic, it shouldn't even have to be said. Like, if you have the bad shit, obviously you won't stack with the group, and obviously you will go out, right? So because then Iria had to say like, oh, go out, and then Burrito said again, oh, come back in, and like half the people didn't go out or then didn't go in. Like, it was completely fucked up. So that's one part. And then I said like, look, you guys who fucked this up, you're gonna go. And so I removed them. So I did say it, but I didn't take the time, since it was only like less than 10 minutes, I didn't take the time to go like and whisper and be like, look, you got removed because you did X or Y bad. That's right. I didn't take the time to do that. But in general, like to put the context on Oastrix, for instance, Oastrix has been in the guild for quite a bit. He has never really done an entire tier. He has never been a good, steady player. There's nothing that we lose with him being here or not being here, even though that may sound a
So
bit
he's like
shitty,
me.
but that's the reality. So I don't really care much if he is here or not, honestly. And the
We are
fact that
talking about who?
Oastrix. And the fact that he decided to leave because he didn't understand why he got removed instead of asking or talking about it, again, just shows character. So I care even less. And that's why he can now also be removed from the sign-ups page, since he isn't here. And now the conversation is full circle.
And it's so quiet.
Better?
Something.
So basically he performed like I do.
What do you say, Cicerones? What do you say?
He performed like I do.
He's much less reliable than you, honestly. So, let's see, who else do we need to remove from the sign-ups page? Probably Shatterbone.
Bankir, the remover.
Bankir the remover. Yeah. Probably Shatterbone. Let's see how long it's been that Aztec is logged in.
Also, what's going to happen to the raiding weeks? I mean, days?
What do you mean?
I mean, we're gonna still run heroics, or are we gonna try hard push mythic?
I would like to try hard push mythic, but I think that either we will need from some of the people that have a lot of time, like some lockouts here and there, so we can recuperate some time. Because I think a bunch of people still need loot from like later on bosses. So
Okay,
either
can
we
we
do
do that
that
on Saturday?
or what?
Like, if people still need loot from heroic, they can come on their mains on Saturdays on heroic.
Yes, but why this doesn't work for everyone is because it's not a legit raid day. So there should be
Yeah,
no
you're forcing people to raid
expectancy
4 days.
for people to raid on a 4th day or even raid on a Saturday. Because that's not what's agreed.
Yeah, that's why I said the only ones who still need. Well, I still need the ring from Jaina heroic, but that's a far-fetched.
What we could do, for instance, be like, oh, seeing as though we will do heroic on a Saturday with some alts or with like decent secondary, you know, whatever, mains or alts or whatever, and we clean maybe 4 bosses or 5 bosses or 6 bosses, and then we could be like, okay, we'll just stop here. We have like a character that basically copies this save, and we can use this save on another day to give access to those people. Or we could do the way like as Burrito has done now, like, okay, I've cleaned up until here, you want to use the save? Yeah, sure, let's use the save, boom. So either we create the save ourselves, or someone has a save and we use that one to get like access to those later on bosses, like the last 3 or something, without having to clean the entire instance. That could save us a bunch of time. If there's no option to do that, then, and honestly this is also something that we should be able to do, we should be able to clean the entire heroic in an evening.
Okay. So which day will be heroic?
Um,
Or it's gonna be 2 days?
No, well, again, we're gonna have to see how it evolves. Normally the most logical approach is like, okay, do it at the start, so you actually get the loot at that point. You know, because then you can use the loot for the progress later on. So you would put it like on a Wednesday or something. Now, if we see that people suddenly, because normally the attendance is a bit higher on a Wednesday, and if we want to push the mythic, then we do need the 20, although it hasn't been a problem right now. But if we see that, like for tomorrow, for instance, normally will be like, what, 18, 19-ish, which means that we can't do mythic. So if we see that it turns into this, then obviously the suggestion would be put the heroic on a Sunday and put the mythic on Wednesday and Thursday, because then we also have 2 days back to back, which also helps with progress, because there's not like 5 days in between people forgetting what to do again and whatnot.
You could do a poll about that. Like, say, you know what the poll is, right?
Yes. I know
Okay,
what a poll
you
is.
can you know, just post something like people who still need gear from heroic. Which day do you prefer?
Doesn't matter which day people prefer. What matters is what we can do.
Well, it does matter which day they prefer because that's the whole point.
Well, the only
No.
downside by doing that is that people are only going to come for the loot runs.
The reason why, in my opinion, it doesn't matter what people think about what day is because people have signed up for doing these 3 days, no matter the contents of the days. So it doesn't matter what day
For
we
example, let's say that Rico said that he won't be able to come on Thursday, and he needs the loot. What
Yes.
about him?
Well, like Rico said now that I will not be able to be here this Sunday because I have something else coming up. Okay. That's a temporary issue on his part. It's not like steadily that he cannot come on a Sunday. It's because something happens in his real life and this week he cannot come. We're not gonna turn everything around to accommodate.
The point was that if we're getting more people on Wednesdays, then we should maybe do it on Wednesday because else we're gonna have to bench more people on Mythic.
Yes, but
I mean,
you
if
are
we
looking
were like
from an
25
optimistic point of view, and I'm looking from a realist point of view. So I would rather have more people available and have the option to bench someone, or have the option to be where someone is like, look, I'm not feeling well, or something happens, I have to go out, and I still can do Mythic. Instead of being there with 20 people and then something happens and then having to decide after half an hour, oops, guys, we're now 19, we cannot do Mythic anymore.
Okay.
I don't think benching is a problem.
Depends on how people see it, because
No,
you know,
no.
right a minute ago we discussed about Ostrix.
I don't agree. Benching is part of the raiding experience. If you don't have the
Yeah, I know,
character
but
to
it's
do it,
when
then you
that-
don't deserve to be in a mythic raiding guild, period. Get the fuck out.
I don't mind to
Just
be
mention
benched.
that people react to things like that.
Of course. But again, this isn't some sort of social experiment. You have certain expectations and things that are linked to what you're doing here. And if you can't deal with them, if you're coming with an attitude of like, I'm so good that I should be in every raid and I want all the loots and blah blah blah, then just fuck off. That's just the reality of this. You should be okay with sitting out, swapping out, because what matters is not you the person, what matters is us, the raids, the team, the result. And if you can't put yourself below the needs of the group, then you are not fit to be in a raiding team or any team environment. Because you as a person don't matter.
I had so much Greek drama about that in old school. I couldn't really bench anyone.
Well, it's like this that it needs to be, honestly. And the people that can't abide by this, that don't understand this, that think that they're more important than everyone else, those are not the people that we want.
It was not like that. We had a merge. We had two guilds merging, and if we wanted to bench a guy from one guild, then the guys from that guild were more like, oh, you're benching our people,
Yeah.
and not your people, and
Yeah. Merch sucks.
we had bipolar. I don't know how to say that. Weird mentality.
It's not bipolar, it's that basically it's a us versus them environment. Because they can't let go of the team that they were in before, and they don't think in realities of the new team. They still think, oh, we are this group and they are that group and we're just gonna play a bit together and shit. Yeah. It's always tricky to make people understand that. Again, because I mean, you're playing this for fun. People don't like to understand that, okay, I'm paying for this game, I want to play 3 hours tonight, but I can't because I'm not good enough, or because my class isn't good for this fight, or whatever. And people are super selfish. It is what it is.
Hopefully I won't have to change the drip.
But, like, yeah, you shouldn't force people, or you shouldn't like expect people to be okay with changing classes all the time, because there's like a lot of releveling or like even money involved or whatever. But people should be okay and should have the social intelligence to understand that, hey, I'm not good in this environment. They need me to go out so they can kill it, and once it's like stable or whatever, maybe they'll take me in for this boss like 2 weeks later or something. Like it's just like a minimum level of maturity that needs to, and team playerness that needs to be there. If that's not there, then you're like a complete fucking muppet. You're a child, and you have no reason being there.
On the other side, if you are benching the same guy all the time, he's gonna leave.
Sure, but if you bench the same guy all the time on everything all the time, it means that you don't need that guy all the time. It means that that guy is probably underperforming all the time. And the fact that that guy then decides to leave actually isn't a problem, because you benched him all the time anyway. The fact that he was still there was that maybe you hoped that, okay, if we give him some more options, like some more chances, he'll play better and he'll learn. But he doesn't, apparently. So he goes, and so you don't give a fuck, because he was shit anyway. Like, really, the people don't matter. It just, I mean, like, obviously the people matter, but like not in the whole. The idea is that the whole is as best as it possibly can be to actually get the job done.
If you're gonna get the loot, apparently.
What?
You're gonna get the loot, apparently.
The only function in getting loots is to kill the stuff that's yet to come. That's more difficult than the shit that you just killed. That's why you need the loot. That's why you get the loot. Not because it makes your character look cool.
Well, right now with the personal loot, there's no...
Yeah, the personal loot sucks because you can't funnel, you can't punish, you can't motivate, you can't do anything on loot basis.
Yeah, there used to be rewards like on the... If you are good raider and you don't skip raid nights, you used to get the more loot. Now you can't do that.
Yep, and that's a huge issue. But there's nothing to do with it, you know.
Or you don't give healers loot.
Hum.
You know, healers are more important than DPS.
No,
right?
Don't bring this up now.
No, I mean, like, imagine that. You have a CR, a healer is down, and a DPS is down. Who do you res?
So normally what you do loot-wise... Loot-wise, normally, for the first raid, you're gonna deck out the tank. And then your DPS and shit. And after, like, all the tiers after that, basically tank is sorta decked out. Unless it's like a very specific boss where you really need tank top-notch. But otherwise, you're just gonna focus on DPS.
Well, if you are dying on the boss, it's not a DPS problem.
Tank, you mean?
Unless you're dying on mechanics, that is.
You get a better healer, man. It's okay.
So the whole idea is that you would go with like 4 healers or even 5 healers where you need it, and you keep decking out DPS, and because you kill the boss faster, you certainly at some point you start avoiding certain mechanics. Instead of like 4 smashes, you only take 3, and so you need less healing. As long as you have enough healing to like survive one set, at the end it just ends up with being, oh, do we have enough mana basically to survive multiple sets? So you need like multiple healers to spread that out. But if you have enough damage to the point where you can kill the boss before he does the next set or whatever, then you don't need those healers anymore. So basically what happens is that the healers gradually gear up over time, and by the time that all your DPS is decked out, you just go at it again and you'll be like, okay, instead of 4 healers, we're just gonna cut down to 3 healers here now.
Wait, We are talking about progress. What you're saying right now, it's not progress, it's farming.
Well, yeah, it's progress and then re-killing the bosses.
I'm talking about when you're progressing.
Yes, when you're progressing, you're gonna
When you're
bend the
progressing,
60 people.
prioritize the tank, and if you're still dying, then you're prioritizing your healers.
You shouldn't even need to prioritize the tank. The tank doesn't normally like for the first year, sure, but after that, the tank really doesn't need that much attention, unless it's like really specific bosses where tank gets like smashed upside down. But otherwise, tank is fine.
Well, back on the tier sets, I don't know how it works now. We were like prioritizing for the tank to take the 4th set and then everyone else.
Half the time, like the tank 4 sets and whatever, they're just like extra. Like we never did that. We always made sure that 4 sets and whatever went on DPS, and then looking at like which DPS actually got the maximum out of their tier sets. Tank was coming in much later. Because tank just needs to survive. Okay, sure, it's good if tank does good damage as well. But if tank survives, at least for progress, you're basically good to go. And normally tank doesn't need that much attention to survive if it's like a decent player. Again, there's exceptions on very specific fights with like, oh, there's a bunch of magic damage and maybe this trinket can help and blah blah blah. But in general, tank is fine. I don't really think that we ever focused on getting our tanks loot before the DPS, except for the first year.
Except
On
for
the first year, we only gave like the 2 tier on tanks, and then we...
like, do you remember Antardus?
Not that
Does
well.
he
no.
remember Antardus?
I remember it,
Antardus
but
the
not
Venom
specifically on like who got what or whatever.
No. I mean, most of the boss fights were tanking based. Like the dogs, tanks were getting tons of damage. King Garoth was almost totally a tank fight. Who else? Garothi was also like smashing the...
So there's a difference between tanks who actually ask for externals and tanks who are just playing and hope that shit works out. Normally, like, I really don't have issue with those fights. You just use the externals that are available and suddenly, yeah, everything's fine. Like, yeah, dogs did a lot of damage, but as a demon hunter, you had a bunch of magic defenses or whatever, and you just had something every single time when he did the bite. And if you didn't have something, you asked for an external and it's fine. Like, there was no squishiness feeling there at all. King Garoth, yeah, basically the same. Maybe you died here and there, but you have like a G def and whatever anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Because by the next time it will happen, boss was dead anyway. And the biggest issue we had on King Garoth was getting people to be smart enough to dodge the balls. If we're talking from a mythic point of view.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was it. It's just like, okay, can you run into this circle without taking a ball to the face? That was it. There was no real tank issues. Like, the only one that I know that there was like some tanking problems or like actually high tanking pressure was Crosses, and that was because both of her tanks at that point were not good to deal with magic. It was only after that the Demon Hunters got a bunch of buffs for magic damage. And like Warrior and Demon Hunter was basically the shittiest combination that you could do in that fight. But we did it anyway and it worked out. It just took a little bit longer. And
it took a lot longer.
It took longer, yes, but it wasn't only our mistakes. It was a bunch of people's mistakes.
No, it was like we needed specific healers to specific...
Yeah, we need a very specific healing setup to deal with it. Of course, because we were down to 3 healers, which we needed to make a DPS check.
Are we talking about the team 1 kill or the merged kill?
No, I'm talking here about the team 3 kill on Crosses Mythic. Team 1 wasn't at that point. Team 1 came later, right?
Wait, at Crosses as in Nighthold, right?
Crosses as in Nighthold, yeah. The bridge was...
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So...
Basically, we
killed that as well, right?
We killed it when we took Pathfind.
Yeah, well, we killed it a couple of times. But didn't Team 1... I don't remember. Did Team 1 kill Crosses? I think so, but I'm not 100% sure.
We were team 1.
No, Team 1 was the one raiding... Wait, did
Yeah,
we have...
one
we have
day.
Team 2 and Team 3. Team 3 was raiding 3 days, Team 2 was raiding 2 days.
Yeah. But you had the healing paladin that didn't do anything.
Yeah, well, the one that did
Just
everything. He just burned
Yeah,
everything.
or
And then
just
it's like,
pouring
well, I got
bloods.
nothing left.
Yeah.
That one. Yes.
Good old times.
Yes. Who also left in the middle of the fight, basically, because he didn't understand what I was trying to tell him. Like, don't use your wings here because you need them in 30 seconds. No, man, I got a macro that pushes all my buttons at the same time. Like, what the fuck, dude?
Oh man, I miss Naito.
Naito was fun. Oh yeah, and the other one was
Breaker.
was the Star Boy. The Star Boy also had a lot of magical damage. That was also a bit of annoying. There was a lot of tank pressure on that as well. But looking on all the other fights...
Can I ask something?
Sure.
What happened to Maledictus, now that you said the Paladin healer?
I didn't hear anything from him. I think he just... let's look him up by name. I don't think anyone else heard anything either. I think he just stopped. That happens. Let's see. MA. Mal. Maledictus, Twilight's Hammer hasn't logged in 16 days. 16 days isn't even that long. But he hasn't joined the raid in like whenever. Tunic. Fomitus. Oh man, I hate that this fucking jumps all the time. So what do we have? Tunic, Shatterbone, 15 days. Vomitus. Sabu. I haven't seen Sabu. Wait, who is Sabu's alt? Who is that? Vomitus. That is Vomitus. But he's supposedly better with the druid or something, but that leads to nothing because that's gonna give us like 3 healing druids, which we don't need at all.
Wait, how could you be better with the druid?
I have no idea. It's what Heal says, that like he's used to playing healing druid and not holy priest or whatever. I don't think that holy priest is that difficult to understand, honestly.
Well, but from what I saw on that normal run where he was with us, he didn't use any mana. Like he was at 70% when the boss died.
Yeah.
On druid or on paladin? Oh, sorry.
Holy priest.
Holy priest.
That was the same run where you were disc. And out-healed him.
Well, wasn't he like dead all the time?
No.
No, he
He
wasn't.
was there.
He was dead on a bunch of other fights, that's true. But on that it wasn't really a problem. Actually, let's just do this, because I don't know why you guys are still in raid support. I don't know how long you've been here, EGs, but...
I don't know, 3 weeks or something.
Yeah, well, all of the people here seem decent attendance. Have a look for Artbug, Demon or no. Retribution's probably too low. Tiff. Kovacs. Farron I'm gonna have to talk about. I think the others are good where they are for now. Should give you some more repairs as well. I don't know if Draylock and stuff is still here. Oh, they're doing dungeon. Yeah, I'll talk with them later on. So who did I say? Retri, Farron. Bankil, Chidrailok, Marcus, Dennis, Arnio, Aisha, we don't need anymore for now. Ardbeg, Best, Boombringer, Buraf, Burrito, Helen, Captain, Bob, Demon Order, Edda, Ejix, Farron, Halo, Homo, Honeyball, Heals, Iria, Killeru, Kovacs, Necrash, Retri, Rico, Aztec, Shinju, Solakopana, Soulcurst, Triandal, shouldn't be, isn't Triandal Necrash? Shouldn't be on there
Yes, he's.
anymore. Yeah, doesn't need to be on there anymore. Tiv, Tunic, Vomitus. I don't think there's a point for Tunic to be on there and Vomitus either, honestly, but we'll see.
Also, you need to talk with Sonakopan because I think he's gonna run on his balance druid.
He wants to switch to the Druid?
Well, he has hit like 397 with him, I think.
Yeah, I saw that this Druid is getting decently geared and he seems to be able to play it decently as well. So, again,
I like it more.
I don't really have an issue, but he hasn't said anything about that. If he wants to, if he enjoys it more, sure. It's just a bit annoying because he keeps on switching, basically.
Yeah, I know. I told him that he should comes up on a thing.
Because loot-wise, it isn't very efficient. Now, on the other hand, I don't think it's bad having two boomkins. Although Demon Hunter brings a lot to the table as well with the darkness and...
Yeah, but we have like 4 or 5 people.
We have a bunch of Demon Hunters, so it's not really a problem. The problem is that Rico tends to be a bit late, and sometimes his awareness is completely in the toilet. Sunic is not active at all, even though he should on paper be a decent player. Tiff, we keep basically as more of a casual, because that's what he said as well, that he is a casual. And he does okay, and his attendance is actually pretty good. But also awareness can do better. But yeah, it should have like different demands there, since he is actually set as a heroic only or like a casual player. Artbook is doing pretty good, I think. With actually decent attendance also as well. So I think it would be like Artbook and like Rico then. That would be the main ones to count on, like for Mythic.
You know that at some point you have to check what else and basically what characters we have, so we can make a good group at some point.
A good group at some point.
Yeah, I mean, we don't need to bring like in a fucking array 4 demon hunters.
No, we don't, but they're not always there all the time. I think 2 demon hunters cuts it. 2 demon hunters is enough to have like a smoke, a darkness basically when you want one. If you have more demon hunters, then you can start throwing them away, which is fine, you know, it helps out. But if you're actually looking at when do I want them, well, you want at least one. That is probably going to be combined with the link, because it makes the link fucking crazy. But after
for
that...
instance, you have the darkness, but you also have the south from the warrior, so you need a warrior.
What do you mean, the shout from the warrior as a defensive? To give us a bit more health? Yeah, well, we have that in the form of Edda as a tank. You mean get like a second one?
Yeah, you understand what I mean. We don't need to stack like 3 or 4 times the same class.
No, we don't. We don't. So I think it's fine if Solokopanos wants to go on his Pumpkin. That's cool. Hello.
My druid still needs a 10.
Haha.
My hunter also, so we're gonna do later because I need.
Well, I already talked with the other guys that I also need like a 10 on the paladin. I can tank that. It's not gonna be a problem. So if you guys have some keys, or I should have a key here now as well. I don't know
I
why.
think I have a 9 also. Probably.
So yeah, I'm up for doing something, but right now I'm gonna go away for like an hour, something like that. I'm gonna be AFK a little bit, and then when I'm back, sure.
For instance, I'm gonna switch from hunter probably because now there's better hunter than me.
Gonna quickly swap into the other channel. Tell them that I'll be right back. See you guys soon. Hello, you guys busy? Dungeon?
Hello?
Not really.
Yeah, we are expiring the key.
Nice, very good. That's not what you would have done with me in the group. Haha.
Exactly.
We'll go with you later as well.
That's not true.
We did everything on time, no? I think so. Wait.
I don't
Yeah, I have mother load 11 now. Everything was on time. Solo, is Solo here?
Hey, mate.
Yes.
Hello, Solo, do you want to play your Boomkin more than your Demon Hunter?
Yes, I'm interested. Why not?
Okay. Well, have a good think about it. You don't have to, you know, reply now. But if you enjoy the Boomkin more and you wanna, you know, play that one more, we can get it in the raid and see how it does. Because I don't think we took it in the raid much. Maybe once or something.
Normal.
Yeah. And on paper it seems to perform well, and in the dungeons it also seems to perform well. So I think
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
very
a
good.
yeah. So I think it's not a problem if we have 2 Boomkins instead of like 4 or 5 Demon Hunters. So if you want to do that, we can do that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I grassed.
Okay, it's fine.
Yeah, why
It's
not?
dead.
Boss is
It
dead.
was crashed as well.
Yeah.
It's if you're quest and we log in, I'll go out and change the talents for Kansu's boss.
In 2 minutes.
I'm
Nah,
gonna
it's gonna be
crash
fine.
for an hour or something.
That's
If you guys want to do some keys.
that's the best thing
Yeah.
with survival. I don't have to change my talents. It's the same every week.
But
Fuck's sake.
Oh,
Solo,
it's
since
just
I'm
that
doing
stupid
the
boss.
invites now, do you want me to put Oblumis on the signups instead of your?
Put for what we will do on
Come on,
Normal?
start
Sunday.
tomorrow, tonight. You gonna come tonight on Heroic?
Sunday should be the
Oh
heroic.
yeah, I
I
wanna
don't
come heroic. I wanna come heroic with my rogue.
Yeah, yeah. I wanna do it on my alt.
Today I don't know if I can come, guys.
Yeah, but it's not a
uh,
problem. You can do the heroic on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yes, but we will go heroic or we will go on
Oh, no, Heroic.
mythic.
Clear.
No, it'll
We
be
said
heroic.
heroic,
We'll still gonna
clear.
do at least like this clear here for what we still have
Okay,
left.
so if we go heroic, yes, sign me up for the Sunday only to check how I go. And if you like me, put me on all the other sign-ups.
We didn't like you on any other of your characters.
Come on, man! Come on, man.
What? Well, it's very good with Boomkin.
I put the Bloomies on as accepted for tomorrow. I won't add you yet on the other calendars. Then
Yeah,
I'll just
yeah, yeah.
manually add it if you think it's good. Then, you know.
No, if you think it's good, you will put it.
Hamut,
That way.
Okay.
Or is that?
See
Yeah.
you guys in an
Um,
hour.
do you
Yeah,
like
mate.
Solo Company?